Hello, thank you for joining us today. We're taking this time to just review some of the information that we've been noticing in the special ed department, which is leading to you maybe feeling a little overwhelmed and wondering what exactly is taking place. While looking at the data, we can't really make heads or tails of the numbers, but we know that they are drastically increasing in every direction, every way, every program, and it's affecting all of us.
One of the points of data we have been looking at very closely in our office is initial referral data. If you look at some of the data we've collected since 1920 to present, we see this very drastic increase in the referrals coming to our office. So those referrals are both parent-led and building-led. So we've teased out some ideas or hypotheses regarding why these numbers look the way they do. If we look at 1920, which was COVID, and then year after COVID, those numbers seem to be a bit commensurate. But if you look at the years following COVID, we are very interested in terms of why our numbers have doubled. The State Department as well as the CDC has not mentioned any more information regarding COVID learning loss. So we have to look at other reasons as to why our initial referrals have increased so dramatically since COVID. Another phenomenon we've been paying close attention to is our new entrants. We've captured data from 2021 that shows us that our numbers have pretty much stayed in the 70s and 80s. If you think about what we go through for projections, we have a set number of seats available. And by the end of June, I am able, with the help of the chair, psychologists, and with you all, I'm able to balance a number so we're not opening up full. This particular year, we have 90 classified students K-5 that have moved in and that require seats in classrooms. The results have been overages in your classrooms, an increase in the number of related services offered. We have speech overages, we have OT overages, PT overages. We even have related services that are a bit more hard to find, such as vision or AT. As a result, we've had to make difficult decisions when it comes to BOCES referrals. Where there is absolutely no space, we've had to send applications out to BOCES. We've had to do multi-grade placements in certain classrooms. We had to look at cross contracts, unfortunately. And along the lines of BOCES referrals and cross contracts, it's a very difficult decision when you're talking to parents. In one breath, you're saying, welcome to our district. And the other you're saying, I'm sorry, we don't have a seat, so we have to send you someplace else. It's very difficult to have, but we're very constricted in terms of space. We're already looking at overages for 24-25. Those are numbers that I'm going to have to balance out by the end of the year to make sure that we are not opening up full. And in some cases, we've had to tell the CPSE not to usher in a full set of kindergartners because we really don't have the room. So in some of our self-contained classes, we've had to do multi-grade K and 1. And in some cases, we're not going to usher in a full set of kindergartners because we're trying to balance our numbers out. What's important to remember is that by law, we cannot turn anyone away. So as long as they're registered and they've proven that they are residents here in William Floyd, we cannot turn them away by law. And also with our students who are designated homeless or displaced under McKinney-Vento law, we cannot turn those students away. And in fact, we have to place them within 24 hours of them registering. So that is a phenomenon that we have to work with. But as you can see from our numbers are pretty commensurate. In the 70s or 80s, we have this spike this year, but it's a number that's really out of our control.
So again, our obligation when we have a new entrant or a re-entrant, we must by law place them within 30 calendar days. Students that are DSS students or displaced students must be placed within 24 hours. And it doesn't matter if we have the IEP, what information we have, that's the law that they need to be placed. We have to provide a free and appropriate public education in the most equitable manner to provide access to the general education curriculum and to progress with IEP goals. And that doesn't necessarily mean if we have a new entrant that comes in with a 12-1-1 placement on their IEP, that's equivalent to our 12-1-1 placement. That's why many times as chair people, administrators, we're calling to other districts on Long Island, other districts in different states to find out what the programs are. It doesn't mean matching the IEP. It means what is the most equitable, most comparable program and services that we have available that the student had previously. Students with disabilities have the right to receive their special education reports in the classroom setting to the maximum extent appropriate. That includes students without disabilities. Under the federal law, there is a presumption that students with disabilities will attend the same schools they would have attended if they didn't have disabilities. And that when we remove them or redirect them from their regular schools and classrooms, that's really only supposed to occur if the student's disability with their IEP cannot meet their needs in that setting, even with supplementary aids, services, and any other services that we exhaust. Next slide. So what we've done behind the scenes so far at William Floyd Elementary, we've created a self-contained 15-1 at William Floyd Elementary by collapsing a secondary position. We've added TAs to classes to keep students from moving. We have moved students to placement at BOCES for classes that are over. As Ravi said earlier, we've gotten CPSC involved as well to come up with creative solutions and also looking at other placements. We've cross-contracted with other districts for classes that are over. We have a cross-contract with Port Jefferson Union Free School District right now. We have implemented some multi-grade sections in 15-1, 12-1, and 8-1-1 to help avoid overages. And we've been participating and cooperating, as many of you know and have been involved in, with state compliance activities, targeted skills group, and training with our Long Island Regional Partnership. Next slide.
At this time, we're working on next steps, and our next steps is just as convoluted as the ones you see in these pictures. We're looking at programmatic changes to accommodate some of the shifts. This is not something that we can implement at this time, so it's a work in progress. We're looking at revising our new entrance procedures just to strengthen communication with parents to make sure that special education is something that the child needs and was receiving prior to when they are arriving in district. We're looking at revising the building referral forms, the rationale, and just the procedures just to see if we can provide supports for them in other areas instead of special education. We're going to reevaluate some of the criteria for learning disabled students and speech and language impaired students. We're working on those processes right now. We're going to look at placements in the district and see if we have them correctly aligned, if they're meeting the needs of the students and our district as a whole. We are going to provide professional development, and we're going to look at the CPS preschool placements and see if all of those students do need to be classified or continue to be classified when moving to the school district. And we're looking at professional development in the least restrictive environment. That is the area we're currently being cited for. So we're looking to improve that and make sure our students are placed in the right classroom environment. We're going to reevaluate the behavior referrals if the child really needs special education, or can they be a behavior child in a gen ed classroom, and that's okay as well. We're going to look at behavior intervention consults and work with our mental health team to see the best placements for the children. All of these are work in progress, and it cannot be done overnight. So we're looking to find ways to just put immediate stop gates on the referrals. If you have any questions, concerns, and more importantly, suggestions, please email them to us. You are in the buildings every day looking, and you probably have solutions that we haven't considered. We're looking from our angle and seeing what's the best way to move children around, what's the best placements, what's the best classroom configurations. We would gladly sit and meet with anyone with ideas that would make the department move forward. We thank you very much for your time, all the work that you do each and every day, and everything you do to make sure the department is successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.